Hey guys, Karasif here to the Triple Review. This time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe God Kabuto, God Scorpion, and God Hopper from Ohsama Sentai King-Ohger. These are 3 additional shoe gods that can each individually combine with King-Ohger to form a new armament, or all 3 can combine with it to form a more powerful version of King-Ohger. So, let's get started. First we'll look at God Kabuto. So this one is a Kabuto Mushi, or rhinoceros beetle, as a lot of Toku fans will know. And for each of these, they mainly have a black and gold color scheme, though each one of them has their unique accent color. In case of God Kabuto, it's all this green that you have painted along the sides, and it does still have that pre-damaged look that we saw on the other shoe gods. You can see the eyes down here, and of course its prominent horn, which has a little bit of asymmetry with the end of the horn, with one being gold and one being blackened. And you can see the one is a lot more smooth while one's a lot more mechanical. Got 6 legs in all, and there is asymmetry here where you have different placement for the one leg on each side that has a gold tip to it. Though because you actually put on legs yourself out of the box if you want to, you could make them symmetrical. But I'm just showing you the way they want you to do it. You come all the way to the back, and then we look at the shell in the back. Got some more nice hook detail. And one cool thing you can do is you can see these gold wings back here. You can actually take them and open them up one click like this to make it look like it's flying. Besides that, each of the 6 legs is on a ball joint, so you can pose it as you'd like. And this has a little spring-loaded action gimmick where if you take the rear horn here and pull it back, it'll make the main horn lower down and then go back up. So it's like a horn flipping action. Just like so. Next we'll combine God Kabuto with King-Ohger. So in order to prep God Kabuto, first we're going to take the front horn, rotate it around 180 degrees, which will straighten out like this. And I'm going to take one side, and open it up like so. I'll come down here where you have the legs. They're going to flip out like this. Let us fully move this outwards like this. Come back here. I'm going to take this piece and slide it to the middle. And click it in place. I'm going to take the legs and position them upwards with 2 to the front and 4 to the back, like that. Then we're going to take this side and bring it out this way. Then we'll use the spring-load gimmick to lower down the horn, put this in place, and then rest it in place like that. And now it's become the Kabuto cannon. So to combine it with King-Ohger, we'll remove the sword. And the God Tento from the right arm. And then this God Tento will come and attach to this point here, on top of the cannon. Just like so. I'll take the arm, bring out these legs, I'll open up this piece here, get into position, and then clamp it down onto the forearm. And with that, we now have Kabuto King-Ohger. So, like this, it's now equipped with this massive arm cannon, and in fact, you notice that I have it at a bit of an angle outwards, and that's because this cannon is actually longer than King-Ohger is tall, so it's impossible for it to be flush with the body. But It is quite impressive to look at, and one thing that is a real testament to the way they designed this is that, despite how big it is, this mech can still hold it in a variety of positions and not have it fall because of the way they have these very tight joints in the articulation. So you can even have it straight out and positioned around something like this. As you can see, it doesn't droop or fall one bit, which again is just a real testament to the way they engineered this, and it is pretty smart that they actually made it so you could get these kind of poses. This is the kind of weapon that definitely not a lot of other mechs would be able to pull off. But King-Ohger pulls out the Kabuto cannon quite well. Moving on to our next two god, we now have God Scorpion. So obviously this is a black and gold scorpion, with the accent color this time being this blue. As you can see, is also asymmetrically applied, though it's a little bit lighter on the damaged look. Something these three also have in common is that each one of them has some chrome gold parts. You might have noticed them on the inside parts of the Kabuto cannon, but here on God Scorpion they're a lot more prominent since we have both the claws and the stinger completely chromed out. Now there's a little bit of articulation in the stinger itself, as well as the claws, which are on ball joints. And there's a little bit of movement of the arms, but that's more so for this transformation. Additionally, this one has a little gimmick where you have this little lever here at the back. If you squeeze it, you get a little stinging action. And it's quite simple in that it just raises back and then springs back forward. And thankfully, because of the way it's spaced out, you don't risk it colliding with the face here and potentially damaging it. A bit simpler than God Kabuto, but still interesting nonetheless. Then we'll combine God Scorpion with King-Ohger. So to prep God Scorpion, going to take the claws and make them parallel to the arms. Then, going to take this part and swing it around like so. Bring this piece forward like so. Rotate the tail so it's about there. And then we'll have the legs down here. We'll squeeze together. This gives us the Scorpion Claw. So, for this combination, we'll instead put it on the left arm. We'll take off the God Tento, and similar to with God Kabuto, there's a place to put the removed God Tento here on the top. A little tricky, but once you get it like that, it'll look like this. Now this one, I'm going to actually want to take the fist and rotate it about 90 degrees like so. And from there, with the legs placed on top. And we're going to have it so that the claws actually go into the hand like this to get it fully in place. And now we have Scorpion King-Ohger. So as you can see, it looks quite imposing with this new giant claw on its left arm. which again is held on quite nicely thanks to articulation. So I can raise up the arm in a pose like this, and it won't droop or sag at all. And again, it really shows how tight the joints are. And how well designed this mech really is. And last but not least, we have Godhopper. So this one is a black and gold grasshopper with pink as the accent color. You can see a little peak of the chrome here and here, but similar to God Kabuto, it's mostly concealed. You see some nice detailing on both sides. And interestingly, the accented pink also has a very minor scratched up look compared to a lot of the other shoe gods we've had. And of course we have some nice eyes on the side. And this one has a little hopping gimmick where if you take this part and press it down and see that it lowers down springs, then if you release it, you get a little hopping gimmick. Although you guess you have to be a bit careful with it so it doesn't hop too much. But it's a nice little spring-loaded action for what it's worth. And of course we'll combine it with King-Ohger. So Godhopper probably has the simplest transformation, as all you really need to do is pull off the legs from the side, then fold in the ends of the legs, just like that. Then take it from the back and split it open, like so, to reveal all the chrome inside. And like that we get the Hopper armor. So, go here to King-Ohger, plug these bits into the knees, making sure that we have the filled-in details on the outside parts. Then, using these clips on the back, we'll attach it to the clips on God Kumo. And here we have Hopper King-Ohger. And in the case of this one, it mostly just adds in some aesthetics, as we now have this very large chest armor with a lot of nice chromed out details, as well as this knee armor. And yeah, for the most part it really is just armor even the show, though in the show it can also fire beams from the chest armor itself. But it does look quite impressive nonetheless. Finally, when we combine all three with King-Ohger, we get the mighty Legend King-Ohger, which is said to be the original version in the show's lore. Now this is a very impressive sight. We have all this black and gold as well as all this chrome. All comes together nicely to make one very impressive looking mech. There's a lot of weight there, but thankfully just if you have the feet positioned right, you won't have to worry about it falling over. You also see one extra detail, which is that in order to have all the pieces here together, you're also able to take the sword and equip it to the back to complete the look. And again, none of the articulation is quite hindered, aside from whatever is, kind of limited as far as the different parts go. But this is definitely what makes these three worth it, is not just them individually, but them all together. And there we go. So overall, while each of these shoe gods works pretty well on their own thanks to their little gimmicks and the ornaments they add on to King-Ohger, they definitely work best when you have all three to make Legend King-Ohger, as not only do we have a new and more impressive looking form thanks to the unified color scheme and just kind of unified aesthetics, but thanks to the way that King-Ohger is articulated, it can still hold a variety of dynamic poses, even with all this heavy looking equipment. And I know I've been saying this throughout the review, but I feel like it's worth repeating that this is just something that goes to show how well they designed King-Ohger, where it can have this stuff added on to it and still pose well. Now, in terms of getting this, you can get them on their own. There's also a set where King-Ohger includes the deluxe god Kabuto, but I think the best way to get them is to buy them in the combined box set of the deluxe 3 shoe god set. That is going to be my recommendation, and if you have a King-Ohger, I can then recommend picking these 3 up in order to get this amazing combination. Next time I'll be getting back to Kamen Rider Geats, and I'll be looking at the deluxe Laser Raise Riser and Raise Riser Belt. So, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KR50, riding off.